My sister thinks I'm being selfish because I'm not putting my own health at risk to give her a baby. So just over 4 months ago, I gave birth to my 4th and last child. It was a high-risk pregnancy and the birth was very difficult. I won't go into detail as it is still hard for me to think about, but me and the baby are both fine. My doctors advised me that it would be best not to have any more kids, and I agreed. My husband just recently had a vasectomy and is now recovering. My sister and her boyfriend have tried planning for a family for a while, but recently found out she can't conceive. She's been very upset about this, and I do feel sorry for her. Our family mentioned adoption or surrogacy for them, and even though my sister's boyfriend was on board, my sister said she needed time to think. Well, a couple of nights ago, my sister called me to tell me her and her boyfriend had agreed on surrogacy. We talked for a bit, and after a while, she brought up the fact how I had done so well in all of my pregnancy and how I must have loved being pregnant. I knew exactly where this was going, and I reminded her how my last pregnancy went. Yet she told me everything was fine now, so what was my issue? I told her that even though I'm around now, I won't put myself through that again, and just because I'm fine now doesn't mean everything will be fine the next time. She then straight up asked me if I will not be her surrogate, and I told her no, I will not. She then started screaming into the phone about how selfish I am and how I need to look out for my sister and help her when she needed it. I told her I would help her with anything else, but I was not putting my own health at risk and potentially leaving my kids without a mom and my husband a widow. My sister went on to continually scream about how selfish I was being and how much of a up at her, and I didn't think about it and went to bed. The next morning, my phone was blown up with Facebook messages and calls from friends and family. My sister had gone on Facebook to rant about me. She went on about how I wouldn't let her be a mom and how I had 4 kids of my own. She said I was a selfish sister for not giving her a baby. My mom and a small handful of people are extremely angry at me and call me all sorts of names for being selfish, while my dad, brothers, and several other people are taking my side. I should not have to put my own health at risk for her, and I don't think I'm being selfish at all, but I'm not sure how to fix this. My husband and I have 2.5 kids. My oldest is 10 years old, my middle child is 5, and I'm currently 5 months pregnant. My 10-year-old is from a previous relationship, and my 5-year-old is adopted. My sister got pregnant unexpectedly, saw adoption as her only choice, and didn't want the baby to go to strangers, so I stepped up. We did everything right. My sister went to therapy to consult on her choice, and I went with her to make sure she was sure, and we did everything that was recommended for adoptive mothers/birth mothers along the way. It wasn't an immediate adoption. I got guardianship, and we built to an adoption, and my sister was involved in the entire process, and again, never expressed any issues in the time it took to finalize. Just over a month ago, I announced my pregnancy. My 5-year-old knows about the biological relationship between her and my sister. Shortly after telling people about the pregnancy, my sister and I arranged to meet up in person in the park. She then told my 5-year-old to give mommy a hug, and my 5-year-old immediately grabbed me, and my sister got what she was trying to do, and she said that I had a baby on the way and assumed that I was done with the 5-year-old and was going to have a new favorite. I said I don't play favorites and don't know what game she's playing at, but I'm not interested. She pushed it, saying that once the baby is born, my husband won't want 2 kids he's not related to hanging around, and that I should do the right thing and give her kid back. She also mentioned something about age, as her 35th is coming up, which she feels makes her an old mom, and kept telling me to do the right thing, saying I should have known that because we're sisters, it was only ever going to be a babysitting gig. I got my husband and kids and we left. Obviously, I'm not handing over my 5-year-old. That isn't even up for debate. But my sister is giving her biased and altered side of the story to our entire family, saying I manipulated her into giving the baby up when she was pregnant. She even told them that I screamed and hit her that day in the park. While a fair number of relatives know she's spouting absolute, including my mother and grandmother, who believe her hook, line, and sinker, which is damaging relationships that both I and my kids feel are important. How do I get my sister to come off her little crusade without having to entertain surrendering a child? What can I say to my relatives who believe her to convince them I'm not the weird, manipulative, baby-stealing witch my sister has made me out to be? My friend and I are 22 and we've known each other since childhood, and we have always been really tight. We're pretty open with each other and there aren't many secrets in our friendship up until now. I'm not gonna lie, he's the golden child of his family and receives a bunch of support from his parents. His younger sister, who is 21, gets it pretty bad and they treat her. About a month ago, I was on OnlyFans and came across a profile and clicked on it. I clicked off the profile. I never would have clicked on her profile if I had known it was her, and I wanted to respect her right to be anonymous on the website. I thought about it for a few days and eventually messaged her the following with the intention of helping her out. Hey Belle, this is really awkward for me and I hope you understand that I'm coming from a place of concern rather than anything else. I came across your OnlyFans the other day when at first I didn't know it was you. I clicked off once I realized. Just a heads up, I could identify you from your tattoos and I'd hate for your anonymity to be compromised if you continue to post since you have a fake name and all. I suggest blurring out these features, but if you're not bothered by this, then keep doing what you're doing. I just thought I'd touch base to be safe. I hope you're doing well, and again, I hope you understand that I'm just looking out for your safety. See you soon. She replied and was thankful that I pointed that out. She thought her tattoos and other features weren't unique enough to identify her, and she told me that she'll make a change. I saw her a couple days later at a party and she gave me a hug and things are are back to normal. Fast forward, somebody else had identified her and had been collecting images from before I messaged her and up until now. They sent them to her parents. Nobody knows who this person is and they remained anonymous. Belle's parents ripped her a new one, and her brother went on a huge rant on Facebook calling her all kinds of names. He came over for a few drinks and began to unload on me. I didn't really react and just kept telling him to calm down. He asked why I wasn't so surprised, and I shrugged and said that a lot of girls have OnlyFans now and it's not a big deal. Eventually, it came out that I knew. I know I should have kept my mouth shut, but he was suspicious that I kept defending a My friends have now booted me out of the group chat and said I broke bro code. So am I not telling my best friend that his sister has an OnlyFans?